think it's finally time I told you about my origins and how I came to be to the ones you saw from my first main appearance in that channel trailer all the way back in the day. Let's start off with a thing. This story takes place in the MLP universe, but it's in an alternate universe where and the main MLP characters coexist together. So, out of love and their bondness of love, my mom, Princess Luna, whose lover is my dad. I don't quite remember, but I think his name was. I was really never told my father's name at all. Well, after I was born, he passed away like not even a year into my birth. Mom told me because he didn't have royalty in his blood. But I'd like to say there might have been another reason. I think she was trying to hide what really happened to him. I'll figure out one day. But me and my mom, Princess Luna, we were living a normal, happy life, even though I always abided. And then one day my mom let me try to raise the moon, where I got my cutie mark, which was the same way. Well, what Mom says, I always got it the same way. Yeah. After that, our lives were peaceful until that one day. I just want to make it at this point that my both eyes were blue before this incident. So I didn't have any problems until this incident. The incident where she became Nightmare Moon. My auntie, Celestia, and her daughter, which is I consider my sister, confronted my mother, but I don't think she was in control at the time. Then she saw me and she said, "You need to join me, son. We must let the night go on for eternity." You wouldn't believe how scared I was when I heard that. And so I shouted a big no because I was terrified. I was only a kid then still. This was a big decision for me, so I just said no. Oh, was she not happy to hear that and blasted me. Whatever she did, I didn't know back then, but I do know now. She gave me a nightmare form, which turned my one eye purple when she hit me. My auntie told me to book it into the woods to get to safety. Go to Ponyville, she said, to stay safe. I listened, and I booked it. I ran for what felt like hours, but then I started to feel that nightmare over. I could tell if I didn't do something, it would take over. So I did I panicked and I slammed my horn into a nearby rock, which broke and made me and changed my body. The chip that had my horn turned into this crystal, which you would be familiar with, came with the second incarnation, or my second form. I was surprised. My hat went missing too. I think it fell down the cliff when it happened. That was nearby. but I picked it up and I booked it to town. My hair, instead of it being the blue it was previously, was now a purple. Which means my appearance had definitely been my change and affected by what I just did and what my mom gave. Landed to town. Someone came and and gave me a place to stay after I told them what happened. Alright. Anyways, then we go into forward to time. My life was very peaceful. I looked up at the moon every night. I saw that my mother was banished. To this day, I think in this timeline, she hasn't been released. Even as now, I'm still looking up at that moon to see my mom just trapped in that same moon still. She was supposed to come out like, I don't know. I'm very old at this point because I have royal blood of an alicorn in my system, which makes sense since I'm an alligriff at this time. And then one day I got a letter in the mail at my house. This was before I became an alligriff. I used my gem to lift up a letter, what looks like. I read it. It was for this new island called, they call it Ponyville, and they have an island house made for me. I asked the person I was living with if that was okay if I moved out. They were fine, and they said they was only for a nice picture until I could find a place to stay. So I'm still thankful for that mayor for letting me stay by. So I got all my stuff packed, and I took a trip in a boat to it, or probably used my gem to fly. It's over, and I went in my house. Everything was gorgeous. It was everything I could imagine. It was like a log cabin in the woods. And then all my life was peaceful up until that other day, which was also shown as a story on an event that was recorded. My house was flooded due to overflow of snow, and I had to move out. And I let them know, but this part wasn't recorded. I let them know what happened and say they were unable to fix it, so I had to find a new place to stay. And that's when I checked my mailbox and got a letter from the Rift City. I took this opportunity to try to figure out how to get there. I tried just teleported to a random beach, of course. Looked at the box. I saw some hair equipment. Decided to give myself a little makeup. I thought, get some dress, new clothes, and find a way to the Rift City. That's when I looked at everything. New spells, anything that could get me there. So I did. I managed to find the spell, and I transported. The Rift City was Manhattan, just floated off the ground when I saw it, but it was still beauty. I heard the incident, I think back when it was in my second form that happened. But was it still gorgeous. I flew in. I was very much accepted by Snog. Snog introduced me and it introduced me around, showed me around, and showed me where I was staying. I was very happy to tell you that. And that's my story. How I came to be in the Rift City from my childhood all the way till I got to the Rift City. Hope you enjoyed it, and look up at the moon. I'll see you next time.